जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की गौर प्रेमानंदे और गौरेश्वर असेंबल्ड डिवोटी हरे हरे कृष्ण. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, chapter 16, chapter entitled Lord Parshuram Destroys the Ruling Class, text number 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी। ये अर्जुनस्य सुता राजन् स्मरन्तः स्वपितृर्वधम् रामवीर्या पराभूता लेभिरे शर्म न क्वचित्। ये अर्जुनस्य सुता राजन् स्मरन्तः स्वपितुर्वधम् रामवीर्या पराभूता लेभिरे शर्म न क्वचित्। ये अर्जुनस्य सुता राजन् स्मरन्तः स्वपितुर्वधम् रामवीर्य पराभूता लेभिरे शर्म न क्वचित्। माताजी word to word meaning. Ye, those who, Arjunasya, of Kartivirya Arjun, Sutaha, sons, Rajan, O Maharaj Parikshit, Smarantaha, always remembering, Swapituhu Vadham, their fathers having been killed by Parshuram. Ramavirya Parabhutaha, defeated by the superior power of Lord Parshuram. Lebhire, achieved. Sharma, happiness. Na, not. Kvachit, at any time. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. My dear King Parikshit, the sons of Kartivirya Arjun, who were defeated by the superior strength of Parshuram, never achieved happiness, for they always remembered the killing of their father. Purport. Jabandagni was certainly very powerful due to his austerities, but because of a slight offense by his poor wife Renuka, he ordered that she be killed. This certainly was a sinful act, and therefore Jamadagni was killed by the sons of Kartivirya Arjun, as described herein. Lord Parshuram was also infected by the sin because of killing Kartivirya Arjun, although this was not very offensive. Therefore, whether one be Kartivirya Arjun, Lord Parshuram, Jamadagni, or whoever one may be, one must act very cautiously and sagaciously. Otherwise, one must suffer the results of sinful activities. This is the lesson we receive from Vedic literature. Om Adnyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhascha Krupa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So grateful to the authorities who have given me chance to serve this way. It's just like offering of a lamb to the sun or offering Ganges water back to the Ganges. So whatever I have heard from great devotees, I am just repeating, putting it in a different format, that's all. So actually I have spoken this class before in Chowpatty also, few years back. And also after that they recommended me to speak in ACM, all councillors meet that happens here for the councillors of Chowpatty temple. So, and it is relevant to the leaders and managers, so I thought I will put it here again. So the point made in this purport is, may one be Kartivirya Arjun, Parshuram, Jamadagni, or whoever it may be, one has to get the reactions of one actions. And being leaders, there is a lot of actions. So we have to be very clear what reactions will come to us, what will not come to us, what are good, what are bad. And I don't know if you have the experience. Actually, this all started, I started analyzing this for myself. Because sometimes while managing or leading, if we take some decision which is not pleasing to some devotees, they tell us, Prabhuji, you are committing offense because for Janmashtami you have this menu, not according to their liking, or what it may be. Or sometimes it may be offense also. I have just given some one simple example. So there is a chance of actually offending while leading or managing. Sometimes devotees they threaten us, Prabhuji, you are doing offense. So I was very confused what offense is, what it is not, what will be the reactions, what will not be the reactions. So considering all this, I did some analysis and some other, I am presenting it over here. So also there is sometimes we find, we always are fearful whether to do this, will it be offense, will it not, because we have been trained that Vaishnava offense is the worst thing which we can do. Hari sthane aparadhe tare hari naam, Toma sthane aparadhe nahi paritran. And then api chet sudaracharo, some sinful act can be corrected by chanting holy names. So offense is the last thing which should be performed by us. So we become sometimes fearful to do anything. It will be offense, not offense. So I just thought what it should be, because sometimes we perform things which are offensive, thinking they are not. And sometimes it is our dharma or duty to do and we don't do, thinking they are offensive. So we have to be clear what it is. And actually, yesterday for that resolve session, Vrajbihari Prabhu took one point, and I was like, "Thus, is he going to take away all my points here today or not?" Because he said for conflicts, there should two people. So at that point, I was fearful. I prepared class. Will it? I cannot use it today. But then the topic changed, so it's okay. So anyway, similarly, for offense to happen, there has to be two people. One is performer of something and one is perceiver of something. So whether it is offense or not, we'll discuss it out. But two people have to be there. And sometimes, and the performance intention has to be seen, and receiver's perception has to be seen. So there will be 2 into 2. Good intention, how it is perceived as an offense or not offense. And wrong intention, still how it is perceived as an offense or not offense. So there can be total 4 permutation and combination. So you'll see that. Before going into that, there are some other ways also. Not exactly they do offense out of intention, but offense happens. Some different types. I have categorized some. I will discuss those. My main point is these 4 categories, but because we are discussing it totally, I will discuss those few other categories. So I have mentioned sometimes offense can be happen out of love, or then circumstantial offense, or out of ignorance. We'll take one example. So today is a bit more for me to speak than in the allocated time. So what I will be doing, I will be going a bit fast, not animating the whole speech. And also I'll just speak because most of you know, I'll just speak the example from the stories of the Bhagavatam, like Lord Shiva and Chitraketu, or what it may be. I won't go into the details of each incidents. So out of love, actually this is from Sri Sampradaya Acharyas. It all begins, it's from Ramayana, and all the percentages are great. Lord Ram, Lakshman, Sita. See, when they do, it's not offense, but they teach us from their activities. So when Bharat came to Chitrakoot, at that time Lakshman had doubted Bharat's intention, whether he's coming to kill us here and get the unopposed kingdom. So that time Lord Ram chastised him. I won't go into detail of first time. So here Lakshman did not do anything. Also there are 2 types. We see when we chant the first offense, we chant to blaspheme a devotee. Actually there is one shloka which I will be taking further. There are 6 types of activities which can be called as offense. Hanti, Ninda, I will take up. But blasphemy is only mentioned in this 10 offenses list. So that also has some important point. So Lakshman in that way doubted the character or intention of Bharat. And it is for anyone, not Supreme Lord, but Supreme Lord does the pastime to show us that how serious it is. And Lakshman got the reaction by Sita Mata doubting his intentions during Panchavati, that, oh, all these years you are waiting for Lord Ram to be away and you wanted to enjoy me. But then Sita Mata got the reaction when Lord Ram doubted that, oh, you are to undergo Agni Pariksha. And then Lord Ram also got, when that Dhobi doubted, oh, he is attached to his wife who is accepting Mother Sita after being at the. So these are the performance intention. They all had a loving relationships. Their intention was not to offend or anything wrong. Lord Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Bharat all had very excellent relationships, but still the act happened where intentions or character was doubted. And some reactions came. So one point just to note. We'll concluded also. We are just taking various case studies right now. Then another is out of circumstances. The famous example of Maharaj Parikshit and Shamik Rishi. Maharaj Parikshit was not of any offensive mentality. There is no past record. In fact, he has conquered over hunger and thirst. But that time he felt hunger and thirst. And the dead snake was there. Dead snakes don't are around everywhere. That we put away. So he felt hunger and thirst is a unique thing. He had never criticized any Brahmana or sages in the past or done such activities in the past. He felt hunger, thirst, and the snake was lying there. So, out of some unique circumstances, he acted. And the reaction, intention was not bad. He was not like a dharmic or having a criticizing attitude, but he acted. And certainly the reactions came. But this is something, one example of circumstantial, not his constitutional nature or conditional nature to act in that way. And then out of ignorance, one example is of Nalakwer and Manigriv. They were not adharmic or atheistic or tamasic or that type of people. But at that time they were drunk. And they did not know what they are doing. They are not respecting Narad Muni. They are not in the position. We can say they are ignorant of what's happening. They did not purposefully insult Narad Muni or behaved. They were drunk under the intoxication of drinks and pride, and they acted in that way. So, but they got the reaction. Narad didn't take it, Narad Muni didn't take it as an offense. Even though he cursed it out of love for their good, but he did not take it as an offense. That part is also going to come in the end. If we think somebody has offended us or we feel offended, that itself is a problem with our consciousness. That will become in the last part. So Narad Muni did not feel offended. But Nalakwer Manigiri got a reaction. So these are three things. Now, before I move ahead, just we all know, but still to make a point, there are 6 actions which are considered as offenses. A famous shloka is there. Hanti nindanti vaidveshti vaishnavanam nabhinandanti krudhyate yati no harsham darshane patana nisat. First is hanti, to kill. Most of us may not do this act, but we can do character assassination. We not kill physically. Then nindanti, knowingly, unknowingly, Are ye to aisa hi hai, he is like that. We start criticizing, or which may be true or may not be true, either way, but we speak. And this is one is mentioned in the 10 offenses to blaspheme devotees. Dveshti, we don't criticize, but we feel envious to another devotee. And Vaishnavanam na abhinandanti. Abhinandanti means to greet. Abhinandan. So when we see a devotee, we don't greet them. Hari bol, pranam, or what it may be. Not greeting a devotee is also an offense. And then krudhyate, getting angry on a devotee is also offense. 5th. And harshanam darshane, not to become happy on seeing a devotee. Sometimes say, "Are ye aa gaya, abhi kya karenge?" Oh, he is now going to eat my head. Just go on speaking something. Sorry, I am speaking for myself. Many times we see a devotee and we turn our head there. We think something, no, what can we do? Oh, he's there. Hari bol Prabhuji, dandat pranam. We are not happy, but we say dandat pranam. So, not to become happy on seeing a devotee is also offense. So, the 6 activities are there. So, and these 6 things can be performed by body, mind, and words. So, all these permutation combinations are there. So, now, before we analyze these 4 levels, or not 4 categories, we'll see about intentions of offender. There are few, just to make it clear, it's not, you all know it, I'm just taking this step by step. intention is more important than the apparent external action. We are discussing about Krishna Lila. Putana was externally serving Lord Krishna. And Yashoda Mai, when she would chastise Krishna or tie up Krishna, was externally, her actions were appeared like offenses. But because of intentions, Putana's is not anukulya, chilnam. She is considered like demonic activity because she had intention to kill Krishna. And Yashoda's activity, even though chastising with a stake or tying up Krishna, apparently a negative activity, apparently externally, but because of her intentions, it is not considered as an offense or it's a devotional service. So, another example is Bhrugu Muni testing Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. If you go begin the pastime, there is assembly of sages, and they wanted to find out who is the supreme amongst Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. And then Bhrugu Muni was deputed to go and find it out. So he was not doing to criticize or he was proud or something like that. But no, it was his seva to check Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh by offending them. Difficult seva. But it was his seva, allocated seva, to check who is greatest among Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh by offending them and observing their reaction. So Bhrugu Muni performed it. So we say that, we never say that Bhrugu Muni offended them. Certainly, Lakshmiji took it and the reaction came. So sometimes there can be a third person also in the offense. Who can perceive it as offense? We heard yesterday, few days back, example of Chitraketu Maharaj and Lord Shiva and Parvati perceived as offense. So that also is part there. So two minimum, there can be more. Two are minimum required. So, but the reactions came. Bhrugu Muni, that the reaction was Brahmanas will be poor. So we'll analyze that, all this future, what types of reactions come. Also a few more examples before we, maybe you can tell. Jiva Goswami was told by Rup Goswami to leave Vrindavan because he has out of pride defeated Rup Narayan. And Jiva Goswami went out and performed tapas in crocodile hole on banks of Yamuna. Or Arjuna fighting Bhishma and shooting arrows. Bhishma is also pure devotee. As Bhishma, so there no space remaining. So is this offense or not? Why? Action is punishment. Go out of Vrinda. When Jiva Goswami did not have any pride. He did not defeat Rup Narayan out of pride. When we go on to the next section, the things will be clear. We don't quote these examples as offense, agreed. But the actions are not in a good tone. Also, Srila Prabhupada telling few devotees who are expressing Mayavad tendencies to go out of ISKCON. Yeah, they might be expressing Mayavad tendency. Bhishma was fought against because he was on the opposite side of Adharma. But still, the actions we have to think over, and we'll see further. Actually, in all the above three examples, intention was certainly good of Rupa Goswami or Prabhupada or Arjuna. But more important is perception. Neither Jiva Goswami perceived it as offense, neither Pitama Bhishma perceived it as offense, and neither the disciples. So there was no intention of offensive mentality and no perception also of offense being done. That is best. Ideally amongst Vaishnavas, this should be the dealing. Whether we are fighting with arrows or somebody is punishing to go out of Vrindavan, if both Vaishnavas are of the exalted qualities, then this will be the result. No intention and no perception of offense being done. But it is not always like that. So we have to consider the other three cases also. So with those few cases, I will come to one conclusion that initially we discussed the case of Lakshman, Sita, Ram. They had no intention, loving relationships, but the reactions came. We don't hear reactions coming to Rup Goswami or Srila Prabhupada or Arjun because they fought against Vishnu. Because they fought or they punished. Hmm? But we see always the reactions coming when we have blasphemed or doubted the intention or character, giving some punishment or taking some wrong decision, some decision which may not please someone, we don't see the reactions coming. But when, even if the intention is good, but when we blaspheme someone or doubt his characters, we see some reactions coming, even though the perception is not there. So that's why I think in that first offense, out of all the 6 activities, Nindant is mentioned. We have to be very careful about criticizing or doubting the character of a devotee. In due course of management, punishment might be there. The leaders might have to do some punishment, take some decision. But the most careful thing is criticizing or doubting. That should never happen. Your decision may not please someone. You might have to tell someone that you cannot do this seva, or even to a limit you are not allowed in the temple for a few months. But we should not criticize that devotee, even though we might be taking the action against that devotee. Criticizing that crosses the red line. Whether intention, perception, forget it. Criticizing means over. The reaction will be there. So we see the offensive mentality examples of Shaubari Muni cursing Garuda, thinking I am. So he was acting out of pride, no dharma or something like that, and he got the reaction. And what happened? His tapasya or his sadhana or his spiritual life had a break. When the intention is correct, reaction is there, but it may not break your sadhana bhakti. It may not break. Some reaction will come, but it may not break or disturb your bhakti. But when the intention is not correct, then the bhakti breaks. Then there is a disturbance in our performance of sadhana. Certainly, Nehabhikrama Nashosti is there. The devotee will come back to the spiritual life, but there will be a lot of suffering, and there will be break in spiritual practices, and then he will come back. That is an eternal principle. Nehabhi karma nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya. That is eternal principle. But still there will be break. Another good example, we all know Gajendra's past life, Indradumna Maharaj. So it is said that Indradumna Maharaj was performing tapasya, and sage Agastya walked in. And Indradumna Maharaj did not welcome him, we have heard it. And therefore he was cursed to become an elephant. Actually, Srila GEV Goswami Pad in his Krama Sandarbha gives a detail of this pastime. He says, although Indradumna Maharaj was performing tapasya, he had come to know that sage Agastya had come in. But out of excuse or something like that, that he is doing tapasya, he did not get up and welcome him. Sage Agastya is not a person who will feel offended, hey, he did not welcome me. But Sage Agastya is Trikaldarshi. He knew that King Indradumna had performed some offenses to Brahmanas and sages in the past. So that reaction is due. So Agastya was not personally offended, but he knew that that reaction is due. And here Indradumna Maharaj had come to know, but he continued his tapasya. Like, okay, I am doing tapasya, I won't get up and welcome him. It was not that he actually did not know. He had come to know that Agastya Muni is walking in. So because of that, Agastya Muni gave the reaction to become elephant. So intention was not completely perfect. So some break in bhakti was there. He became Gajendra. And many years he spent as Gajendra, and then certainly bhakti was revived So I said bhakti will never be destroyed, whatever happens. But there was a break because of the some not perfect intention. There was a break in his bhakti. So when offenses are committed unintentionally or when we are acting with the right motive, there is also some reaction. But the bhakti is not broken. Bhakti continues, and many times the reaction helps us to grow in bhakti also. Many times, like Maharaj Parikshit, he got a reaction, but then that was Krishna's plan. Bhagavatam was spoken, he went back to Godhead directly. He was qualified to go back to Godhead, but then bhakti is increased or sped up. It speeds up when the intentions are correct. So, like Rup Goswami was performing, we all know that pastime, Dhyan or Leela Smaran. And in that Leela Smaran, he was smiling. And one sadhu was walking by who was like a bit deformed walking, we know that pastime, and he felt offended. So Rup Goswami's Dhyan broke up. But not that his bhakti broke up completely, because there was no intention. And then he had to go and bring that sadhu for feast and like that. Similarly, we again take the case of Chitaketu Maharaj. He had no intention to criticize Lord Shiva. He out of friendly joking, only Lord Shiva can do that. With a wife on the lap, talking of renunciation to all the renowned sages, who else can do? Only Lord Shiva can do, and like out of that, out of appreciation, he was smiling. But also our Acharya explained there can be some small element of not perfect consciousness. See, Chitaketu Maharaj before this has performed that vrata. He has had the darshan of Lord Shankarshan in 6 months. So even after that, intentional, unintentional offense can happen and the reaction will come even after having the darshan of the Supreme Lord. So having darshan of Supreme Lord is not like some full guarantee. It's we who have to be correct. What was Chitaketu Maharaj's small mistake? He was thinking, oh, I have the darshan of Lord, I have pleased the Lord. So even with Lord Shiva, who is like Teji Asam na doshayet. Although it was friendly, not criticizing, but his attitude was, I have heard the darshan of Lord, so I can smile on Lord Shiva. Out of good intention. And therefore, small reaction was there. But the Narayana Para Sarve, there was no break in his bhakti. As a Vrutrasur, his bhakti continued. In fact, it perfected. There was no break in bhakti. The main point is when the intention is correct, reaction will come. If the perception is offense, reaction will come. But that reaction will not break a bhakti, and mostly it will enhance, or there will be some suffering. You become a demon's birth. There is some suffering. But the bhakti will continue, it will grow, maybe it will become fast also. Maybe some mercy will come out of that. But a reaction in the form of external suffering of this world will happen. Something will be there. If it is perceived as offense, some reaction is there. If intention is good, it will help us in our bhakti. We have to be clear. And intention is bad, bhakti will be broken, and then yes, certainly, after some time it will be revived. That is eternal principle. So best amongst Vaishnava etiquette, Vaishnava behavior is, or not Vaishnava dealing is, no intention, no perception. At least at present, I feel it's a rare happening, but that is the best. We all should try. Either we are on the receiving end or the performing end. If you are on the performing end, our intention should be very clear. If you are the receiving perception end, we should never perceive that I am being wronged. For a Vaishnava, it's impossible to think I am being wrong, or you are offending me, or he offended me. So at least we can correct ourselves. We should never have a wrong intention and never get whatever the other person may be doing. He may be doing bad with us, but we should not take it as a offense. We should be very clear. So best is no intention, no perception, wonderful Vaishnava dealings. I think all these teachings of trust and conflict resolution is for the leaders to improve their perception and help others improve their perception of not getting offended or not feeling offended. And also not offending, that is also part of it. Because most of the devotees who are in GBC college, 99% of us, 99% of times have good intentions. 1% may not be, so you have to be careful for that also, or maybe 2-3% may not be, but it's not the majority. All these teachings I was feeling is for us to improve perception and our behavior to improve in such a way so that others don't perceive it as an offense. So then I already spoken the 4 types of things that can happen. So now, after taking all these examples, let's come to talk how we can practically relate to us who are managing or leading. Examples, no, all, what do you say, quadrants, x-axis, y-axis, all is no mentioned. Now, what about me, Baba? I have to take some decision. He is saying we should have pulao. He is saying we should have jeera rice. If I say pulao, then he feels I am favoring him. If I say jeera rice, perception we don't know, not in our control. He is always taking sides. Is it in our control what others perceive? We can help to improve that, but not in our control. Our intentions are good. Like Yashaji Puruji said, do it, damn if you do, damn if you don't do. And sometimes we think, better give it up. Giving up, see, from our side, we have, okay, I'll come to it rather than, okay. So yes, as a devotee, any devotee, but maybe especially managing or leading devotees, we have to be very clear in our 365/7 behavior and dealings. We absolutely don't have any attitude of hanti nindanti vai dveshti vaishnavanam nabhinandanti krudhyate darshanam no harshanam patatam sat. The 6 things offensive: killing, criticizing, envying, then not greeting, and then getting angry, and not becoming happy on seeing devotees. We have to take extreme care to remove these tendencies from our consciousness, because that will create wrong intentions from our side. And as at least for me, I feel this is a big job which we yet have to do it. We may not have very straightforward, obvious intention to offend someone, but then, like for it has to be on such a high level. We take a decision, like suppose we have to take some action against some devotee. We take that action, but we don't feel any bad about it. Outside the meeting, outside the action, we offer that devotee is a wonderful devotee. We don't have absolutely any negative attitude towards any devotee in this world. That we have to take care of. We might have to take a decision. Prabhuji, sorry, no, because of some reasons, you might not continue in this department. We might have to take that decision. It may be right or wrong, our intention is good. But outside as an individual devotee, if we speak, oh, I took the devotee not to be in that department, where it is not necessary to speak, what is happening? Criticism. That is more dangerous than our actions or our seva. We may think, oh, I will give up this seva because offenses happen. Do you think by giving the seva, we will be cured of these subtle feelings or tendencies to do the 6 types of offenses? No. We won't be cured of these subtle tendencies to do these 6 types of offenses. So what is bad is not your seva, but bad is our tendencies to do hanti, nindanti, vaidveshti, vaishnavam, nabhin. For me, these 2 things are more serious. Vaishnavam, nabhin, nandanti, not to greet, and we don't greet. We are very fast or busy or what it may be. And not feeling happy on seeing devotees, it's a bit difficult thing. Some devotees they feel happy, some devotees don't feel happy. Like when you are new devotee and some seva manager comes, we don't feel happy because he will give us some seva. There are so many things where we don't feel happy on seeing some devotees for some reasons, for many reasons. That is more serious and important than our seva and what to pursue. So, yes. Like we see, Arjuna, Bhishma was on the side of adharma. He is a great devotee. No, great means Virya Shuddha Bhakta. But he is on the side of adharma. And Arjuna had to take an action to the limit of practically killing him. He was Ichha Maran, so he did not die, but practically he was killed. But after the war, Vancha Kalpataru Bhishcha Krupa Sindhu Evacha. Pandavas went to Bhishma to learn lessons. Bhishma Upadesh with full awe and reverence. So, yes, that is the Vaishnava part which managers or leaders should not miss. We might have to take some action, not like Arjuna up to the point of killing Bhishma, but what it may be. But the moment we are out of meeting or out of that action, we should see the devotee in full glories which he has. And our behavior should be full, because sometimes some bitterness remains in us also. This devotee performed that, and he's like that, and what it may be. He's lazy or he's irresponsible. Or I told him 10 times to do, he did not do it. If that bitterness remains, we will engage somewhere in Nindanti, Dveshti, Nabhi Nandanti. We should be very, what do you call that? Careful in our consciousness to do the actions of management or leadership in a detached way. That should not affect our consciousness. And don't think that by leaving up our seva, we'll get this step advanced in our Krishna consciousness. This has to be advanced, whether we do the seva or not do the seva. We have to advance our consciousness of not offending Vaishnavas. So we should not relate the two, that giving up the seva will stop offenses. That is not going. By giving up the wrong tendencies within us, we will stop offenses. Not giving up the seva. So we should not be in that illusion. Oh, let me give the seva. And then in Hindi we call it na rahega bhais, na rahegi basi. The offenses will go away. They don't go away. We'll keep on performing such wrong behavior. So I think to summarize, as a managers or leaders, we have to be very careful. We have to learn to detach our actions and our consciousness. Difficult, but that's the solution. And that's the solution we have to attain, whether we are managers or not managers. That solution has to be attained in our spiritual life. Whether we are leaders or not leaders, that solution has to be attained. And we might have to take some correction actions like Arjuna or whatever it may be. But no blasphemy. Absolutely no blasphemy or criticism or character assassination. Even if someone might have performed, in today's language, he might have performed illicit sex or what it may be. Take the action if you are supposed to, you are in that position. But absolutely no criticism within the heart. Oh, he is a devotee, he is a loose devotee, he ran away with that woman or what. No. That cannot affect our consciousness. That is offensive. To take a corrective action is not offensive. But if we have that consciousness, oh, this devotee is a loose. Krishna is saying sadhu reva samantavya, and we are saying he is a loose devotee. He performed that mistake, agreed. We are not hiding the mistake. Krishna is saying sadhu reva samantavya, samyak vyavasthito hi saha. And we may think, oh, he had 20 years of sadhana and then he had some relation with a Mataji or did some financial corruption. Yeah, agreed, he did that. But we have no authority to ponder or even think about that after our decision has been taken, finished. We have to take a decision which is required and finish. It should be out of our consciousness. He is a glorious devotee. Vancha kalpataru bheshcha krupa sindhu evacha. That will protect us from our, like that is pure intention. And perception we should take all the techniques which Raghunath Prabhu and Vrajbihari Prabhu, we can improve the perfection as far as possible. And we should put the techniques into us also, that is required. It's not a, sorry for using some Hindi phrases, हम कोई दूध से धुले हुए हैं or purer than thou. We are not that. So I will come to that point now. Just so, if a person perceives that the offense is not in our hand is we are free from this offensive tendencies. And still, if he perceives, reactions of material nature will come, but our bhakti will not be disturbed. In fact, Krishna may use that for our bhakti to grow. And sometimes, okay, I will go to some serious parts. Now, as I said, final point, and then we'll just summarize. To feel offended is also bad, irrespective of whether a person has offended us or not. Or it shows our offensive mentality. How come? To feel offended shows our offensive mentality? Yes. One Shastric point and one logical point to support this. Shastric point is that Dharma bull says if you want point fingers to the, what do you call it? To the wrongdoer, we get the part of the reaction. So if he has offended us, we might not have offended us, we might have performed the offense, but it means we have the same mentality. Simple. I give a very little humorous example. Suppose you are walking on a street, you, means me, you, and a person drunk, totally in Indian language, tight, pura tight. He comes across you and he gives you gali, bad words. Will we get offended, Proji? Will you give him bad words? He'll just say he's drunk, Baba. His consciousness is drunk. Let him miss. We don't get offended. Just like I know one Gurustha devotee whose child was 2-3 years old and he threw a 20,000 rupees mobile out of window from some 5-10 floor. अभी child बच्चा है क्या करे? Will he go offended? No, I won't maintain this child because he threw my 40,000 rupees. We just neglected. We are on a different level. That child is on a different level. That drunk person is on a different level. When a drunk person even give you the burst of galis, we don't feel offended. And a devotee doesn't sour of gulab jam, we feel offended. Why? Because we know that drunk person is different level. We are not on that level. But suppose one drunk person is walking, and from the front another drunk person comes, and he gives all the gali. What will this person do? He will give. So when we feel offended, our performer might be performing offenses unto us out of hate, envy, pride, anything. But if we feel it as an offense, drunk, reaction comes. One drunk, another not drunk, no reaction, even if one does something wrong. It's a fact. If we are on the same consciousness, we will feel offended. He might have performed offense to us out of envy, pride, what it may be. It should not affect us. Simple. If we are on the different level, just like it did not affect Agastya Muni or Narad Muni. It should not affect us. We have to raise that. So our perception has to be clear. Some devotees may be acting wrongly, agreed. Whether they are not is a different point of discussion. Maybe agreed wrongly, agreed. But the very fact that it is affecting us means we have that same mentality. Very clear. Better focus on improving our mentality. So, there is one example when Indra offended Bruhaspati once. Then Indra realized his mistake and he wanted to beg for forgiveness. But Bruhaspati felt bad. And he hid somewhere. Indra ne aake maafi nahi mangne chahiye mere se. And that is said it was a wrong activity. He opened, oh, welcome, wonderful. You do not do any offense. We should not feel bad. That is ideal Vaishnava behavior. As I said, from receiving end, we are maintaining at the receiving end. Performing end is pure intentions. Receiving end is pure perception. Now we should be pure in intentions and pure in perception. That is for us to take care of. Mm. So just like chain of offenses, like Ram, Sita, I spoke this. I think I may not be very correct in the speaking in the mood of flow. First, Kartir Arjun took away the cow, so he got the reaction. Then Jamadagni Muni killed him, so he got the reaction. The sons killed him. And then the Parshuram killed the son. And it began that Renuka went to get the water. And she just in the mind had a thought, not a thought, she just saw that Gandharvas and Apsaras enjoying, and she just was seeing that. And Jamadagni Muni gave a more reaction of killing. Hmm. So he got a reaction of getting killed. So the point is very clear. The actions will not get without reaction. But if our intention is perfect, the reaction will be there, but it won't disturb our Krishna consciousness. It may help our Krishna consciousness. And the perception is clear. We are wonderful. We are out of this world, material world. That's what we aim to, pure intention and pure perceptions. Let me just see if something is remaining. And pure intention, pure perceptions won't come by giving up our seva. They have to come by our spiritual practices and continuing with the seva. And yeah, it's an offense, example of offense, but still you can call it icing on the cake. Huh? One pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita is the last one. Um, Lord Chaitanya, he was going to Vrindavan, first attempt. And first attempt, many devotees came initially with him. And Gadadhar Pandit came, giving up his vow, sannyas, kshetra sannyas. And there are one point in Orissa, I don't remember which town, some town, at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu crossed the river and he told Gadadhar Pandit, you have given up your sannyas and whatever it may be, enough is enough. You know, Gadadhar Pandit was doing tricks. You walk ahead, I will walk behind, we will not walk together. All these things was happening. But then Lord Chaitanya said, Gadadhar Pandit, you have to stay back. And Sarvam Bhattacharya also returned from that point. And Gadadhar Pandit fell unconscious. In that trip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went only till Malda. Yeah, Ramkeli, and came back. And Lord Chaitanya expresses, because I offended Gadadhar Pandit, I could not go to Vrindavan, I had to come back. Certainly, all these rules doesn't apply to the Lord Ram, Sita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they behave in such a way to set the example. He said, because while going, I offended Gadadhar Pandit this time, so I could not go to Vrindavan. And Lord Chaitanya says, therefore, I had to come back. So, this is how we have to be very careful. Please accept my speaking like a small boy speaking in front of parents. Thank you, Rupanuk Prabhu, Govind Priya Mataji, and Vamsi Bihari, Vipin Bihari Prabhu, and all. Muralidhar Prabhu, he is like my father. I have learned many principles of bhakti from him. From my new days, he has cared and like a loving parent. So please forgive my offense if I am sitting in front of you and speaking. Hare Krishna. We don't have time. No time, Prabhu. Sorry, we can personally meet. Yeah.
Can I say a few words on my purification? Thank you so much, Madan Gopal Prabhu. You presented such a profound, deep topic in what we call a nonchalant way. And you are so casual in presenting such a deep subject matter. And you had done such deep analysis.